Do you all remember the time that WWE and Vince McMahon was going to book a match at SummerSlam between Daniel Bryan and Charlie Sheen? This is Jack O'Hara Wrestling. It is time to talk about two of my favorite things in the entire world, that being World Wrestling Entertainment and my bizarre fandom for Charlie Sheen. Yes, the Sheen, the Wild Thing. Back in the news, Charlie Sheen, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen, is out on Netflix, a two-part documentary about the Wild Thing's entire time in Hollywood as an actor, his childhood growing up with Martin Sheen, with Emilio Estevez, with Ramon Estevez, his sister, how he got into the business, how he tried to throw out everything away about 34 times, getting paid over $2 million per episode on 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen lived one wild life, man, and continues to do so. He's on Rogan, he's on Logan Paul's podcast, hell, he's on Tucker Carlson of all shows. Charlie Sheen back in the news. I want to talk about the one thing that nobody remembers, not even the thing that I remember. I, as a die-hard professional wrestling fan and as a huge Charlie Sheen fan, did not connect these dots from the time I was 13 years old watching it live to me now sitting here as a 26-year-old male. I totally forgot that this happened. WWE was going to book a match between Charlie Sheen and Daniel Bryan in 2012 in Los Angeles at SummerSlam. Daniel Bryan had just completed a feud with CM Punk back in 2012. It was in that era where AJ Lee was like getting with everybody on the male roster. She got with Daniel Bryan, she got with CM Punk, she got with Kane, she got with John Cena, she got with Dolph Ziggler. AJ Lee was kissing every male superstar left and right. Daniel Bryan being the first one, she had the kiss of death at WrestleMania 28 when Daniel Bryan lost to Sheamus in 18 seconds. And then that trickled down to Daniel Bryan breaking up with AJ Lee getting involved in Daniel Bryan's matches with CM Punk, with Kane. They had the whole triple threat, then they had the no disqualification match at Money in the Bank. AJ then had the wedding with Daniel Bryan at Raw 1000, and this is where Charlie Sheen gets intervened into this whole thing. Charlie Sheen had multiple Skype calls with Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler on Raw 1000. If you remember, Jerry and Michael Cole were in their tuxes saying, we gotta take it to one of your all-time favorites, King. Charlie Sheen, and this was not like Charlie Sheen just making an appearance to have a cross-promotion between, it looked like it was Anger Management and WWE, trying to get into that audience, because Charlie Sheen, I can tell you for one fact, knew nothing about professional wrestling, knew nothing about the world of WWE, and not a lot of, celebrities at the time really did, because WWE was kind of in that PG era. They had the guest hosts of Monday Night Raw, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Ozzy Osbournes, the Shaquille O'Neals of the world. The Johnny fucking Damon hosted Monday Night Raw. Charlie Sheen was supposed to be the guest host of Monday Night Raw for Raw 1000. He ended up doing it over Skype with the guys because this was not just actor Charlie Sheen. This was crackhead Charlie Sheen. This was winning Charlie Sheen. This was the guy that just got fired from 2.5 Men and was trying to promote his new hit series, Anger Management, that I think went all of 2 seasons. I actually watch it quite frequently. It's actually a really good show. Charlie Sheen, I believe, was the first person to ever call Daniel Bryan Goatface, which got over within the next 2 years as like the biggest thing in professional wrestling. There was WrestleMania, him going up against The Authority, him going up against Kane. Hell, Daniel Bryan versus Kane at SummerSlam that year was the match that kickstarted Team Hell No. And you can thank Charlie Sheen for that. Charlie Sheen versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2012 would have been a freaking horrific wrestling match. Charlie Sheen was pumping testosterone like it was nobody's business while doing crack cocaine at the exact same time, doing interviews on CNN that made him look like an absolute wild man. The Tiger Blood saga, could you imagine Tiger Blood versus Goatface? Yeselmania versus The Wild Thing. Daniel Bryan versus Charlie Sheen. As a Charlie Sheen fan, I would have loved to see him step in a squared circle. I don't know what Vince McMahon's tactic was bringing in Charlie Sheen, especially in the state of mind that Charlie Sheen was in at that time. Like, that was mint condition, 10 months fresh off of being fired off of 2.5 Men, where he was getting paid $2 million an episode to blow it on hookers, on crack, on cocaine. Charlie Sheen was off of his fucking rocker, and Vince McMahon thought, hey, this is a good idea to bring in Charlie Sheen to have him feud with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan having a great feud into WrestleMania with Sheamus, gets his title thrown off of his waist in 18 seconds at WrestleMania. Kind of embarrassing. Then you're feuding for the WWE title, the CM Punk. You're in a feud with who was your ex-girlfriend on camera, and now she's like making out with every guy left and right. Now, you get rocked bottom by The Rock. Now, you get left at the altar on the biggest Raw in the history of WWE. And now, Charlie Sheen is calling you an Oompa Loompa and a goat face. Not a good era of professional wrestling for Daniel Bryan fans, but of course, within a year, that would have been changed over 180. Daniel Bryan and the whole YesLMania movement took over WWE by storm between 2013 and 2015. But could you have imagined Charlie Sheen actually getting into the ring? I don't know what kind of shape he was in at the time. He obviously wasn't right up here. I know he was doing a ton of testosterone. He was getting pretty jacked, but at the same time was doing a bunch of drugs, so like he could have easily killed himself. Dude was off of his rocker, and if you watch the documentary, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen, out now on Netflix, you're going to get great stories from John Cryer, you're going to get great stories from Sean Penn, from Denise Richards, from Brooke Mueller. He got all of his ex-wives to appear in this documentary. Only Charlie Sheen can bring together all of his former ex-wives that obviously still care about him to do this documentary. Charlie Sheen, one of one, Charlie Sheen. 2.5 Men, one of the greatest sitcoms, if not the greatest sitcom I think I've ever watched. Him and John Cryer do an incredible job. But Charlie Sheen and WWE, man, they wouldn't have mixed. They definitely don't mix in 2025, and they didn't mix in 2012 when, Ben Roethlisberger didn't mix with them, when Johnny Damon didn't mix with them, when Ozzy Osbourne mixed with everybody. Everybody loves Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne's the one guy that can be high the entire time, and everybody still loves Ozzy. Charlie Sheen, different story. I feel like Charlie Sheen rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Not me. I will continue to watch 2.5 Men in Anger Management. Guys, check out the documentary, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen, on Netflix now. But what do you think? Do you think Charlie Sheen actually could have taken on Daniel Bryan in a wrestling match? And where do you think WWE Creative would have gone with it if Vince McMahon actually says, I want this to be a marquee match at SummerSlam in Los Angeles? Daniel Bryan versus Wild Thing.